Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to LearnWiz. I hope you all are doing really well and आप सबकी पढ़ाई बहुत ही अच्छे से चल रही होगी. First of all, let me draw your attention towards the fact that apart from mathematics, our channel also contains a lot of content related to physics, chemistry, and biology. So do check them out, and if you find them useful and want to appreciate us, you can do so by liking and sharing our videos with your friends. You can also consider subscribing to the channel so that you can get timely updates related to any new lecture or upload. Alright, so let's come back to our topic. In previous lectures, we were studying about trigonometric ratios. We saw how many types of trigonometric ratios are there. Basically, there are 6 types of trigonometric ratios, that is sine, cos, tan, sec, cosec, and cot. And we also saw how we can calculate the value of trigonometric ratios for certain right angle triangles if some of the details related to the triangle is already given to us. Fine. And then we studied one important relation between the trigonometric ratios, that was reciprocal relation. In the previous lecture, we were having a problem session on the topics that we already studied. Basically, in this lecture, we are going to move further. First of all, I'm going to tell you some important results and relations between the trigonometric ratios that will be very helpful for you in your question solving, problem solving. All right. I'm not just going to give you the result. I'm also going to prove each and every result and relation that I'm going to state here so that you don't need to mug up anything and you can simply reach on to the result by yourself by deeper understanding of the concept lying behind that particular result. All right. And if time permits, we will start with trigonometric ratios of some particular angles. Fine. So the first result that I am going to give you is this one is very important, and it states that the value of each of the trigonometric ratios of an angle does not depend on the size of the triangle. It only depends on the angle itself. So first of all, let's see what does this result mean. मैंने क्या लिखा? The value of each of the trigonometric ratios for any angle does not depend on the size of the triangle and it just depends on the angle itself. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? एक बार ये समझते हैं. इसका मतलब ये है, suppose we have a right angle triangle like this. All right, let's say this is triangle ABC, right angle at B. This one is theta. Theta यहाँ पर कुछ भी हो सकता है, 0 degree, 10 degree, 30 degree, 60 degrees, anything. All right, this will be our perpendicular, this will be our hypotenuse, and this will be our base. And suppose we also have another right angle triangle, this one, say P, Q, and R, where this one is 90 and this is again theta. That means if this angle is 10, then this angle is also 10 degrees, and if this is 30, then this angle is also 30 degrees. Fine. And इसके corresponding हमारे पास ये हमारा परपेंडिकुलर रहने वाला है, ये हमारा हाइपोटेन्यूस रहने वाला है, एंड दिस वन इज गोइंग टू बी आवर बेस. फाइन. सो इस रिजल्ट के अकॉर्डिंग साइन थीटा की जो भी वैल्यू होगी हमारे पास, वो चाहे इस ट्राइंगल ए बी सी के लिए हो या फिर इस ट्राइंगल पी क्यू आर के लिए हो, वैल्यू हमेशा ही सेम रहेगी जब तक ये एंगल सेम होता है. दैट मीन्स sin theta is equal to, in triangle ABC, sin theta will be equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is P upon H, and in triangle PQR, sin theta is P dash upon H dash. So according to this result, this P by H and this P dash upon H dash are equal. That means we have P by H equals P dash upon H dash. इसका मतलब क्या है? That जब तक की एंगल की वैल्यू सेम होती है, देन ये डिपेंड नहीं करता कि ट्राइंगल का साइज क्या है, वो छोटा है या बड़ा है, उसके साइज उसके साइड्स की लेंथ कुछ भी हो, द वैल्यू ऑफ साइन थीटा इज गोइंग टू रिमेन द सेम. ऑलराइट, अब इसका प्रूफ देखते हैं. जैसा कि मैंने कहा था, आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू प्रूफ ऑफ ईच ऑफ द टॉपिक, ईच ऑफ द रिजल्ट दैट आई एम गोइंग टू स्टेट हियर. ऑलराइट, सो लेट्स सी. Fine. Now consider a triangle ABC where angle B is 90 degrees and angle A is theta. Fine. That means just consider this triangle ABC where this one is 90, this one is theta. Fine. So इस triangle में इस theta के corresponding what will be our perpendicular base and hypotenuse? This is our perpendicular, this is our hypotenuse, and this will be our base. All right. Now let's extend this AC to some point and also extend this AB. Let's name this point as S, and then draw a perpendicular from S on this AB extended. Fine. Let's name it R. Now consider this theta, this angle is theta. All right. So, and triangle ARS is also a right angled triangle. It is also a right angled triangle, right? And corresponding to this triangle, यहाँ पर हमारे पास perpendicular base और hypotenuse की वैल्यू क्या होने वाली है? This side will be our perpendicular. This whole AR is going to be our base. Let's denote it by dash. And this whole AS is going to be our hypotenuse. All right. Now, in triangle ABC, what will be the sine theta? Or just wait, I'll tell you in some different way. Consider triangle ABC and triangle ARS. Fine. So in geometry, you might have studied about similarity of triangles. Fine. So can we say that triangle ABC and triangle ARS are similar to each other? ऐसा कह सकते हैं हम. See, in triangle ABC, this angle is 90. In triangle ARS, this angle is 90, and this theta is common to both the triangles. So by angle criteria, triangle ABC is similar to triangle ARS. Fine. And we know if the triangles are similar, then the ratio of their corresponding sides are equal. Fine. So we can say AB upon AR equals to AC upon AS, and that will be equal to BC upon RS. Fine. कह सकते हैं ऐसा? Let's say this is equation 1. Now consider the first and the last term of this equation, that is, consider AB upon AR equals to BC upon RS. फाइन. सो क्या मैं इसे रीअरेंज करके इस तरीके से लिख सकता हूं? दैट इज, वेट, क्या मैं इसे रीअरेंज करके ऐसा लिख सकता हूं? आर एस अपॉन ए आर इक्वल्स बी सी अपॉन ए बी. लिख सकता हूं, राइट? नाउ मैंने क्या करा, जस्ट बीसी को मैं इस साइड लेकर गया एंड ए बी को, सॉरी, आर एस को इस साइड लेकर गया और ए बी को इस साइड लेकर आया. फाइन. नाउ सी, इन ट्राइंगल ए बी सी, this BC upon AB is what? It is nothing but perpendicular upon base, and that we know is tan theta. And similarly, in triangle ARS, this RS upon AR is what? It is P dash upon B dash, that is also tan theta. And theta to same ही है. That means this is our tan theta. Fine. This is our tan theta. So from here we can conclude that it does not depend that what is the size of the triangle. The value of the trigonometric ratio here here it is tan theta will always remain same. वैसे ही similarly we can consider the first and the second term. फाइन. और वहां से हमें किसी और ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियो की वैल्यू के लिए हम ये रिजल्ट प्रूव कर सकते हैं. जैसा मैं आपको बस एक और रिजल्ट लेकर प्रूव करता हूं. कंसिडर ए बी अपॉन ए आर इक्वल टू ए सी अपॉन ए एस. फाइन. इसे अगर मैं रीअरेंज करके लिखूं, दैट विल गिव यू ए बी अपॉन ए सी इक्वल्स टू ए आर अपॉन ए एस. दैट मीन्स ए आर को मैं इधर लेकर गया और ए सी को मैं इधर लेकर आया. एंड व्हाट इज दिस? इन ट्राइंगल ए बी सी, ए बी अपॉन ए सी is what? B upon H. B upon H is cos theta. And similarly, in triangle ARS, AR, that is B dash upon AS, that is H dash, is what? It's again cos theta. तो ये हमारे पास cos theta होने वाला है. तो हमने देखा ट्राइंगल की साइज कुछ भी हो, the value of trigonometric ratio is going to be same. In a similar way, ये तो मैंने क्या कर रहा था, हमने ट्राइंगल की साइज को बढ़ा दिया. अब अगर हम ट्राइंगल की साइज को छोटा कर दें, इफ वी डिक्रीज द साइज ऑफ द ट्राइंगल, सो क्या तब भी ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की वैल्यू सेम होने वाली है? लेट्स सी. एक बार ये भी चेक कर लेते हैं. हमारे पास ट्राइंगल क्या था? वी हैड दिस ट्राइंगल, just consider it to be straight, A B C, and this was our 90 degree and this was our theta. अब मैंने क्या करा, मैंने इस साइड के अंदर इसे एक्सटेंड करने के बदले इसके अंदर ही एक पॉइंट कंसिडर करा, लेट्स से P, और यहां से आई जस्ट draw a perpendicular on AB. This will be 90 degrees and this is theta. In triangle ABC, this is going to be our perpendicular. This AC will be our hypotenuse and this AB will be our base. And in triangle, let's say this is Q. In triangle APQ, this AQ is going to be our base. Let's say it's B dash. This will be our perpendicular and this will be our hypotenuse. All right, fine. Again, we can see that triangle AQP and triangle ABC are similar by angle angle criteria. All right. So again, the ratio of corresponding sides of these two triangles are going to be equal. That means AB upon AQ is equal to AC upon AP is equal to BC upon PQ. All right. Let's say this is equation. Let's say this one is equation 2. Fine. Now again consider these two terms, that is AB upon AQ equals AC upon AP. इसे मैं again rearrange करके लिख सकता हूँ, that is AB upon AC will be equal to AQ upon AP. Now in triangle ABC, this AB upon AC is what? It is nothing but base upon hypotenuse, that is cos theta. And similarly, in triangle AQP, this AQ upon AP is what? B dash upon H dash, that is cos theta. Again, this will be equal to our cos theta. फिर से हमने पाया कि ओरिजिनल ट्रायंगल से अगर कोई ट्रायंगल ऐसा कंस्ट्रक्ट करा जाए जो ओरिजिनल ट्रायंगल से छोटा हो, then again the value of trigonometric ratio are going to be same. And the same goes for the triangle that is bigger in size than the original triangle. All right. Just एक और trigonometric ratio के लिए मैं इसे प्रूव करके दिखाता हूँ. Let's consider AC upon AP equals BC upon PQ. यहाँ मैंने इन दो टर्म्स को कंसिडर करा है. Now we can just rearrange them. That is PQ upon AP can be written as BC upon AC. मैं इसे यहाँ लेकर गया. This AC and this PQ इसको मैं ऊपर लेकर गया. Now in triangle ABC, what is this BC upon AC? It's nothing but perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is sin theta. And similarly, in triangle AQP, this PQ upon AP is nothing but sin theta, that is P dash upon H dash. So ये भी हमारा sin theta की इक्वल रहने वाला है. That means sin theta की वैल्यू भी सेम होगी and it does not depend on the size of the triangle. And similarly, we can prove for other trigonometric ratios as well, just by taking different combinations of these three fractions. All right. So this result was proved. This is proved. Let's move on to the next result. Fine. Now, the second result that we are going to see is The second result is for any triangle ABC where angle B is 90 and angle A is theta, sin theta is always going to be less than 1 and cos theta is always going to be less than 1. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? That means किसी भी राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल में साइन एंड कॉस की वैल्यूज हमेशा ही 1 से छोटी होती है. आगे की क्लासेस में हम देखेंगे कि इनकी वैल्यूज -1 से 1 के बीच में वैरी करती है, बट फॉर नाउ we need to focus that these two trigonometric ratios are always going to be less than 1. अब एक बार इसका प्रूफ भी देखते हैं. Let's look at the proof. Let us consider a right angle triangle ABC. Consider triangle ABC where angle B is 90 degrees and angle A is theta. That means consider this triangle. This is A, B and C. Let's call this theta. This one will 90 and this one will be our theta. Now what will be our perpendicular base and hypotenuse? Corresponding to this theta, this will be our perpendicular, this will be our hypotenuse and this will be our base. Now let's see. We know that hypotenuse is the longest side. It is the longest side of any right angled triangle. हमें पता है that किसी भी राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल में हाइपोटेनियस जो भी है हमारे पास वो उस ट्राइंगल की लॉन्गेस्ट साइड होती है. फाइन. नाउ what does this mean? Let's say this. I'll just highlight this for you guys. Now what does this mean? This means AB is always less than AC and BC is always less than AC. Fine. अब इसे मैं अगर रीअरेंज करके लिखूं, that is AB upon AC is less than 1 and similarly BC upon AC is less than 1. अब AB upon AC है क्या? AB upon AC is what? It is nothing but base upon hypotenuse, that is cos theta. So this implies cos theta is less than 1. And what is BC upon AC? BC upon AC is nothing but sin theta perpendicular upon hypotenuse. This means sin theta is less than 1. So it does not depend whether theta is this angle or this angle. Always the value of cos theta and sin theta are going to remain less than 1. Fine. So this was also an important result for you to remember, because it may happen that while solving in any question you get the value of sin theta and cos theta to be greater than 1. तो वहां पर आपको समझ जाना है कि आपकी कैलकुलेशंस में कुछ मिस्टेक रही होगी, तभी ऐसा हुआ है, क्योंकि कभी भी sin थीटा एंड cos थीटा की वैल्यू 1 को एक्सीड नहीं कर सकती. फाइन. सो अब आगे प्रोसीड करते हैं. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सी सम इंपॉर्टेंट रिलेशंस बिटवीन द ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज. उससे पहले मैं एक बिल्कुल बेसिक चीज एक्सप्लेन करना चाहूंगा आपको. एक बेसिक सा कंसेप्ट है, दैट इज powers of t ratios. ट्रिगोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की पावर्स कैसे हम डिनोट करते हैं. सपोज वी वांट टू कैलकुलेट साइन थीटा होल स्क्वायर. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? दिस मीन्स साइन थीटा इंटू साइन थीटा. सो इसे लिखने का हमारे पास कन्वेंशन है. कन्वेंशनली वी राइट इट एज साइन स्क्वायर थीटा. फाइन. एंड सेम गोज फॉर अदर ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज एज वेल, दैट इज कॉस, कॉट, सेक एंड कॉसेक. वैसे ही अगर हमें क्यूब्ड लिखना हो, if we have to calculate sin theta whole cubed, what does this mean? This means sin theta multiplied 3 times. So this can be written as sin cube theta. Fine. And same goes for other trigonometric ratios as well. That means cos theta whole cube is written as cos cube theta. Fine. Now let's observe one important thing. Sin square theta, sin cube theta को मैंने क्या लिखा? Sin cube theta was sin theta into sin theta into sin theta. बट यहां से मैं देख सकता हूं sin theta into sin theta is what? It's sin square theta. That means this is equal to sin theta into sin square theta. यहां पर कुछ नहीं है, दैट मीन्स इसकी पावर 1 है. सो क्या ये साइन ऑफ 1 प्लस 2 थीटा है? क्लियरली दिखा है. दिस साइन क्यूब थीटा इज साइन ऑफ द सम ऑफ द पावर्स ऑफ दीज टू साइन थीटा. फाइन. और हमने एक्सपोनेंट्स के लॉज में पढ़ रखा है दैट a पावर k इंटू वेट इंटू a पावर सम m इज इक्वल टू a पावर k प्लस m. ये हमने एक्सपोनेंट्स के रिजल्ट्स में पढ़ रखा है. सो इससे हमने क्या देखा? दिस tells us that trigonometric ratios follow the laws of exponents. So we just concluded, that trigonometric ratios follow the basic laws of exponents. That means if we have sin square theta whole cube, then it will be sin, this will be multiplied 6 theta. Fine. So ये भी एक important result था. This will also help you in problem solving. Now move on to our next relation. ये रिलेशन मैंने अब जब हम प्रॉब्लम सेशन ले रहे थे तो एक क्वेश्चन के बीच में मैंने थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लेन करा था, बट वेट, आई थिंक दिस वन इज नंबर 4. नंबरिंग आप चेक कर लेना. द नेक्स्ट वन इज quotient relation of trigonometric ratios. This is quotient relation of trigonometric ratios. What is this? This is basically tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta and cot theta is equal to cos theta upon sin theta. फाइन. और यहां से हम क्लियरली देख सकते हैं दैट tan theta into cot theta is what? It is nothing but sin theta upon cos theta multiplied by cos theta upon sin theta, and that will give you 1 because these will get cancelled out. Fine. This one is also an important result, and this result will help you while we study trigonometric identities. वहां ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक आइडेंटिटीज में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस ऐसे होंगे जहां आपको समझ नहीं आएगा कि कौन से रिलेशन को यूज करना है, जहां tan और cot इन्वॉल्व हो. सो व्हाट वी डू देयर, we basically break tan and cot into sin theta by cos theta and cos theta by sin theta and proceed further. फाइन. तो यहाँ पर वो आपके बहुत यूजफुल होने वाला है. अब इसका भी एक बार प्रूफ देख लेते हैं. The proof is very trivial. We will consider a right angle triangle. Let's say this one. Let's name it A, B and C. This one is 90 and this one is theta. Clearly ये हमारा perpendicular होगा, ये hypotenuse होगा, and this is going to be our base. Fine. What is your sin theta? Sin theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. Fine. And what is cos theta? Cos theta is what? Cos theta is base upon hypotenuse. What is sin theta upon cos theta? Sin theta upon cos theta is perpendicular upon hypotenuse by base upon hypotenuse. That is nothing but P upon H into H upon V. This will get cancelled out and we will be left with P upon B. And हम जानते हैं किसी भी triangle में P upon B हमें क्या देती है? This is equal to nothing but tan theta. And same goes for this one also. If we calculate cos theta upon sin theta, cos theta upon cos theta upon sin theta. This is base upon hypotenuse by P upon H. This H and H will get cancelled out and we will be left with B upon P, and that is nothing but cot theta. Fine. So it's simple. ये दो रिलेशंस हमें हमेशा याद रखने हैं. These two relations are very important and they should be kept in mind always. And this is trivial. अगर हमें ये याद है तो ये तो हमें पता होगा ही, बट ये भी याद तो रखना ही है, बट ये आपको ऐसे ही याद हो जाएगा. इसे स्पेशली याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट दीज टू यू शुड डेफिनेटली रिमेंबर. फाइन. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द अदर रिलेशंस. अगला इंपॉर्टेंट रिलेशन हमारे पास है समथिंग दैट इज कॉल्ड स्क्वायर रिलेशन. दिस वाज नंबर 5th, आई गेस. दिस इज स्क्वायर रिलेशन. स्क्वायर रिलेशन. और ये क्या है हमारे पास? There are basically 3 square relations. First one is sin square theta plus cos square theta is nothing but 1. Second one is 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta. And the third one is 1 plus cot square theta is cosec square theta. So these 3 results are also very important and they should also be remembered by you. ये इसका यूज हमें ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक आइडेंटिटीज जब हम पढ़ेंगे तो वहां समझ में आएगा, क्योंकि वहां क्वेश्चंस में ये यूज हो रहा होगा. क्वेश्चंस में इन चीजों को ही मैनिपुलेशन से हम ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक आइडेंटिटीज को प्रूव करते हैं. So these should also be kept in mind. And you can see there is a pattern here that if 1 plus tan square is sec square theta, then 1 plus cot square is nothing but cos sec square theta. So आप जब जब इसे याद करने बैठोगे तो आपको एक पैटर्न मिलता जाएगा एंड उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप इसे याद करोगे. फाइन. अब एक बार इसका प्रूफ भी देखते हैं. इसका प्रूफ भी ट्रिवियल ही है, बट स्टिल लेट्स सी. Since this is trigonometry, we have to consider a right angle triangle always. Let's say this one is our right angle triangle, A, B and C. This is 90 degrees, this is theta. Fine. So ये हमारा P होगा, ये हमारा बेस होगा, ये हमारा हाइपोटेनियस होगा. Clearly, right? Now हमें पता है by Pythagoras theorem, h square is nothing but p square plus b square. ये हम जानते हैं. All right. Let's say this is equation number 1. Fine. अब कैलकुलेट करना स्टार्ट करते हैं. What is our sin theta? Sin theta is nothing but perpendicular upon hypotenuse, that is p upon h. This implies what is sin square theta? Sin square theta is nothing but sin theta into sin theta that we saw earlier. This is nothing but p upon h whole squared, that is p square upon h square. Now similarly, we have cos theta equals b upon h, and this implies cos square theta is b square upon h square. Now, if we calculate sin square theta plus cos square theta, what will it be? Now, sin square theta plus cos square theta is what? It's perpendicular square by hypotenuse square plus b square upon h square. We can take LCM. This is perpendicular square plus base square. But from 1 we can say that p square plus b square is nothing but h square. So this will be nothing but h square itself. So this will be equal to h square upon h square, and this will give you 1. So it is proved that sin square theta plus cos square theta is always 1. Easy tha? This result was easy. In the same way, we can prove the other relations. That is, now let's consider. Let me make the triangle again. Wait. मैंने triangle. Let's consider this triangle again. ABC. यहाँ मैंने orientation क्या लिया था triangle का? हाँ, fine. It is same. This was our perpendicular, this was our hypotenuse, and this was our base. Alright. Now what is tan theta? Tan theta is nothing but p upon b. This implies what is tan square theta? It is nothing but p square upon b square. Now what was the third relation? Third relation was 1 plus tan square theta. So what will it be? 1 plus p square upon b square. We can take the LCM and simplify. This will be b square plus p square. And from Pythagoras theorem, we know that this p square plus b square is nothing but h square. This can also be written as h upon b whole square. And we know that in any right angle triangle, sec theta is equal to h upon b. So this will be equal to sec square theta. Hence we proved that 1 plus tan square theta is nothing but sec square theta. So this result is also proved easily. Let's see the last relation. What is cot theta? Cot theta is base upon perpendicular. This implies cot square theta will be b square upon p square. So what will be 1 plus cot square theta? This will be 1 plus b square upon p square equals to p square plus b square upon p square after taking the LCM. Again by Pythagoras theorem, this will be equal to h square. This is h square upon p square. That can be written as h upon p whole square. And we know that h by p is what? It is nothing but cosec square theta in a right angle triangle. That is cosec square theta. So in this way, we can also prove that 1 plus cot square theta is cosec square theta. Fine. So this relation is also proved. इजी था क्या देखा हमने ये तीन रिलेशंस देखे हमने दैट इज sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta and 1 plus cot square theta is cosec square theta. All right, now let's move on to our next unit in the chapter trigonometry, that was trigonometric ratios for specific angles. हमने अगला यूनिट लिखा था इस चैप्टर में, दैट वाज trigonometric ratios for specific angles. All right, यहां हम बेसिकली कुछ एंगल्स के ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करेंगे एंड दोज एंगल्स आर 0 डिग्रीज 90 डिग्रीज 45 डिग्रीज 30 डिग्रीज एंड 60 डिग्रीज. इन पर्टिकुलर ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज के लिए साइन थीटा, कॉस थीटा, टैन थीटा, कॉसेक, सेक एंड कॉट थीटा की वैल्यूज क्या होती हैं, हम वो यहाँ पर प्रूव करने की कोशिश करेंगे. और ये सारे वैल्यूज जो भी मैं कैलकुलेट करूंगा वो सारी वैल्यूज आपको याद होनी चाहिए. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर ऑल दोज वैल्यूज, बट आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू द डेरिवेशन सो दैट यू डोंट नीड टू मग अप दोज. वो क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते करते ऑटोमेटिकली आपको याद हो जाएगा. तो सबसे पहले हम कंसिडर करते हैं 45 डिग्रीज. लेट्स कंसिडर 45 degrees first. So for this, what we'll consider? We will consider a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle ABC, ABC, where angle B is 90 and this angle is 45, let's say. So what will be this angle? This alpha? We know that sum of the interior angles of any triangle is 180. So clearly this alpha plus 90 plus 45 is 180 degrees. Fine. So we can calculate this alpha plus 135 degrees equals to 180 degrees. This will simply give us alpha is nothing but 45 degrees. So this alpha is also 45 degrees. Now in geometry, we have studied that the length of sides opposite to equal sides are equal in length. That is, sides opposite to equal angles are equal in length. That means if this particular side is A, that is opposite to this 45 degrees, then this side AB will also be A. इन दोनों की वैल्यूज सेम होने वाली है. फाइन. Let's say this alpha is 45. So इस alpha के corresponding what will be our perpendicular base and hypotenuse? See, we had to calculate trigonometric ratios for 45 degrees, right? So we can consider any of these two 45 degrees. I am considering this alpha. All right. So this particular alpha के लिए this is going to be our perpendicular. This is the longest side, so it is also always going to be hypotenuse, and this will be our base. Fine. Now, by Pythagoras theorem, wait, let me write it clearly. By Pythagoras theorem, this h square is equal to p square plus b square, but here p and b both are equal to a. This implies h square is nothing but a square plus a square, that is 2a square. This will give you h to be root 2a and minus root 2a. But we have seen earlier that the length of any side of a triangle can never be a negative quantity. So this minus root 2a will be rejected. All right. So finally what we got? We got h is nothing but root 2a. ये हमने calculate करा. So let's move further. अब हमारे पास क्या क्या वैल्यूज आई? For triangle ABC, we calculated P is A, that is given. B is A. Since the angles were same, that were 45 degrees, and H we calculated it to be root 2A. So now what will be our sine theta? Sine theta is what? It is nothing but P upon H. This will be A upon root 2A. This A and A will get cancelled and it will give us 1 upon root 2. Fine. So, and theta was 45. This implies sine 45 degrees is 1 upon root 2. Now for cos 45, what will it be? Cos 45 degrees is what? It is base upon hypotenuse, and here base was also a and hypotenuse was root 2a. This will get cancelled out and we will get it 1 upon root 2. What about tan theta? That is tan 45. We can calculate it through p upon b, but we know that tan theta is nothing but sine theta upon cos theta by the quotient relation. So here we can write it as sine 45 upon cos 45. Both these values were 1 by root 2. This will get cancelled out and we will get tan 45 is equal to 1. Now we can calculate other trigonometric ratios as well. That is sec theta is what? It is h upon b. Cosec theta is what? It is h upon p. And cot theta is what? It is b upon p. But मैं आपको जो भी रिलेशंस मैंने पढ़ाए हैं वो रिवाइज करवाना चाहता हूँ. So let's see. What was cosec theta? By reciprocal relation, it was nothing but 1 upon sine theta. This implies cosec 45 is nothing but 1 upon sine 45, and that will be root 2, since sine 45 was 1 upon root 2. Similarly, sec 45 is equal to 1 upon cos 45. This will also give you root 2, since cos 45 is also 1 upon root 2, and cot 45 is 1 upon tan 45, and since tan 45 is 1, so cot 45 will also be 1. फाइन. इसे हम ऐसे भी कैलकुलेट कर सकते थे, जैसे cosec थीटा क्या होता है, दिस इज h अपॉन p. सो यहाँ h की वैल्यू हम रूट 2a लेते, p की वैल्यू a लेते, एंड देन वी वुड हैव कैलकुलेटेड द रेशियो, एंड इट वुड आल्सो बी सेम, दैट इज रूट 2. What we calculated that sine 45 is nothing but 1 upon root 2, cos 45 is also 1 upon root 2, tan 45 is 1, cosec 45 is root 2, sec 45 is also root 2, and thus cot 45 is 1. So you should remember all these values. आपको किसी भी ट्रिग्नोमेट्री की बुक में एक टेबल बना हुआ दिखता होगा, और उस टेबल में सारे ही स्टैंडर्ड एंगल्स के लिए जो भी ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियो की वैल्यूज हैं वो टैबुलेट की गई हैं. सो आपको वो टेबल याद होनी चाहिए. बेसिकली आपको इन ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की वैल्यू याद होनी चाहिए. सो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट 45 डिग्रीज. अब हमारे पास अगला एंगल क्या था? अगले एंगल्स थे, लेट्स कंसीडर 30 डिग्रीज एंड 60 डिग्रीज. सो लेट्स कंसीडर, वेट, लेट्स नाउ कंसीडर 30 डिग्रीज एंड 60 डिग्रीज. इसे हम एक साथ कंसीडर कर लेते हैं. फॉर दिस लेट्स कंसीडर एन इक्विलैटरल ट्रायंगल. इक्विलैटरल ट्रायंगल क्या होता है ये अपन को पता है. इक्विलैटरल ट्रायंगल इज द ट्रायंगल इन विच length of all the sides are equal. This is A, B and C. Length of all the sides in an equilateral triangle are equal. That means this side will be equal to this side and it will be equal to this side. So all the three sides will be equal. And हमने अभी just पिछले वाले रिजल्ट में ये देखा था that the side length of sides opposite to equal angles are equal. And this result was also true for the converse part. That is, if two sides, opposite sides are equal, then angles opposite to them will also be equal. That means if this AB is equal to BC, then angles opposite to it, that is angle opposite to AB, that means this, and angle opposite to BC, that means this. These two are also going to be same. Fine. And similarly, since BC and AC are also equal, so angles opposite to this, that is BC, let's say this was alpha, this was alpha. So now angle opposite to BC is alpha, and this will be equal to angle opposite to AC, since these two are equal. This will also be alpha. So हमने क्या देखा, तीनों ही एंगल्स की वैल्यू अल्फा आ रही है. What does this mean? We know that sum of interior angles of any triangle is 180. That means alpha plus alpha is nothing but 180 degrees. This implies 3 alpha is 180 degrees, and this implies alpha is nothing but 60 degrees. See, I know these things are very trivial and very easy for some of you, but मैं उनके लिए एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूं जिन्हें शायद इन बातों का पता ना हो. फाइन. अब हम क्या करेंगे, वी विल मेक एन एंगल बाइसेक्टर ऑफ दिस एंगल ए. हमने इसका एंगल बाइसेक्टर ड्रॉ करा. दैट मीन्स this angle will be equal to this angle, and alpha was 60, so this will be 30 degrees and this will be 30 degrees. And in equilateral triangle, what is the result we have got? We know that angle bisector and perpendicular from that angle to the other side are coincident. That means this angle bisector is also going to be perpendicular on this side. ये 90 degrees भी होने वाला है. Fine. All right. And we know that length of all the sides are same. So हम मान लेते हैं this length is 2a, this length is 2a, and this whole length is 2a. Fine. So equilateral triangle में हमारे पास एक और result है that this angle bisector is going to be the perpendicular on BC and it is also going to bisect BC. That means this point P is going to divide this BC into half. ये रिजल्ट ज्योमेट्री का है, इसे आप इजीली प्रूव कर सकते हो. मैं यहाँ पर इसका प्रूफ तो नहीं दूंगा, वो हम ज्योमेट्री में डिस्कस कर रहे होंगे. So अभी के लिए आपको ये याद रखना है. If this whole length was 2a, this was 2a and this whole length was 2a, so ये हमारे पास a होगा, ये हमारे पास a होगा. All right, and this alpha was nothing but 60 degrees. Fine. अब हम कंसिडर करते हैं ट्राइंगल APC को. कंसिडर ट्राइंगल APC. ये हमें कैसा दिख रहा है? ये कुछ ऐसा दिख रहा होगा. APC, this is 90, this is alpha, that is 60, and this is 30. फाइन. सो इस अब हम कंसिडर पहले 30 डिग्रीज को करते हैं. तो इस 30 डिग्रीज के करेस्पॉन्डिंग what will be our perpendicular base and hypotenuse? This will be our perpendicular, this is hypotenuse, and this is base. Now if we want to calculate and see, this length was what? 2a. This length was what? This PC is what? A. So by Pythagoras theorem we can say that h square is p square plus b square, that is, this was a, and h square is, this implies h square is what? H is 2a, that is 2a whole square. 2a whole square is equal to p square, that is a square plus b square. This implies this will be 4a square. This will give you b square is 3a square, and this will ultimately give you b to be 3a root 3a minus root 3a. But again, since this length of side cannot be negative, so this will be rejected. Fine. So what we finally got? We got this p is a, b is root 3a, and h is 2a. Now let us calculate the value of the trigonometric ratios for 30 degrees based on these values. What will be sine 30? Sine 30 is what? It is p upon h, that is a upon 2a, it is 1 upon 2. Alright. What about cos 30? Cos 30 is what? It is nothing but b upon h, that is root 3a upon 2a. This will give you root 3 upon 2. What about tan 30? It is sine 30 upon cos 30 degrees. This is 1 upon 2 by root 3 upon 2. This will be 1 upon root 3. And in the similar way, just like we calculated for 45 degrees, we can calculate the values of other trigonometric ratios as well. sec theta will be nothing but 1 upon cos theta, cosec theta will be nothing but 1 upon sin theta, and cot theta will be nothing but that cot 30 will be nothing but 1 upon tan theta. So ये मैं आप पे छोड़ता हूँ, वो सारी वैल्यूज आप कैलकुलेट करोगे, एंड आई विल नाउ प्रोसीड टू 60 डिग्रीज. हम 60 डिग्रीज की तरफ जाते हैं. Now again, let me make the triangle. Let me draw it. APC. This was our 60 degrees. This was our 2A. This was our A, and this we calculated to be root 3A. Corresponding to this 60 degrees, this will be our perpendicular. This will be the hypotenuse. This will be the base. What about sin 60? Sin 60 is P upon H, that is root 3A upon 2A. This will give you root 3 by 2. Alright. What about cos 60? Wait. Cos 60 is what? It is base upon hypotenuse, that is A upon 2A. This will give you 1 upon 2. And what about tan 60? Tan 60 is what? B upon P, that is A upon root 3A. This will be 1 upon root 3. और हमने tan 30 की वैल्यू क्या कैलकुलेट करी थी? Let's see. Tan 30 was 1 upon root 3. So wait. What about tan 60? Just 1 second. Oh, sorry. Tan theta is P upon B, right? That was cot 60. It is not B upon P, it is P upon B. Tan 60 is P upon B. What was P? P was root 3A. B was A, so this will give you root 3. And similarly, we can calculate cot 60, that is 1 upon tan 60, and it will be 1 upon root 3. Similarly, sec 60 is what? It is 1 upon cos 60, that is 1 upon 2, it will give you 2. Fine. This is 2. And what about cosec 60? 1 upon sin 60, 1 upon root 3 by 2. It is nothing but 2 upon root 3. Fine. So we also calculated the trigonometric ratios for 60 degrees, and ये values भी आपको याद रहनी चाहिए. In next lecture, we are going to have a problem session on the trigonometric ratios of specific angles. इस पे बेस्ड जितने भी क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं वो सारे हम सॉल्व करेंगे, पर तब तक के लिए आपको इन सारी वैल्यूज को याद करना है. वो जो टेबल की बात मैं कर रहा था जो बुक्स में आपको मिलती है, उस टेबल को आप ड्रॉ कर लो खुद से, और सारे एंगल्स की रेशियो, ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की वैल्यूज को एक बार रिवाइज कर लेना, ताकि प्रॉब्लम सेशन जब हम ले रहे हो तो उसमें आपको क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में प्रॉब्लम ना हो और बार बार वैल्यूज को देखना ना पड़े. फाइन. नाउ हमारे पास कौन से एंगल्स बचे? वी आर लेफ्ट विथ 0 डिग्रीज एंड 90 degrees now. So for 0 and 90 degrees, we have some assumptions. हमने 0 डिग्रीज एंड 90 डिग्रीज के ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज की वैल्यूज अज्यूम कर ली है. हमने मान लिया है कि वो सही है. दे आर कॉल्ड एक्सियम्स, और क्योंकि ये हमारे किसी भी कैलकुलेशंस को हिंडर नहीं करती, सारे कैलकुलेशंस हमारे इन्हीं वैल्यूज को लेकर के सही प्रूव होते हैं, हेंस no one till now has been able to disprove these values. Fine. So हम इसे डिफाइन क्या करते हैं? We have defined sine 0 degrees is 0. Fine. Cos 0 degrees is 1. So what will be tan 0 degree? Tan 0 degree will be sine of 0 degree upon cos of 0 degree. It will be 0 upon 1, that is 0. Now what about cosec 0? Cosec 0 is what? It will be reciprocal of sine 0. 1 upon sine 0. That will be 1 upon 0. But we know that this 1 upon 0 is not defined. In mathematics, 0 can never come in the denominator. This is not defined. So what can we say from this? We can say that cosec 0 degree is not defined. Alright, fine. Now what about sec 0 degree? Sec 0 degree is what? 1 upon cos 0 degree, that is 1 upon 1, so it will be 1. Now what about, बचा क्या हमारे पास? Tan is cot, right? We are left with cot 0. Cot 0 is what? It is 1 upon tan 0 degree. Now tan 0 is what? It is 0, so it will be 1 upon 0. Again, this is not defined, right? This implies cot 0 degrees is not defined, right? So ये values भी आपको याद होनी चाहिए. That is sin 0 is nothing but 0, cos 0 is 1, tan 0 is 0, sec 0 is 1, and this cosec 0 and cot 0 is not defined. ये सारी चीजें आपको अच्छे से याद होनी चाहिए. फाइन. ऑलराइट. नाउ अब हमारे पास आखिरी एंगल कौन सा बचता है? दैट इज द लास्ट एंगल दैट वी आर लेफ्ट विथ इज 90 डिग्रीज. सो अब एक बार उसके लिए भी देखते हैं क्या एक्सियम्स है हमारे पास. दिस इज 90 डिग्रीज, इसलिए हमने अज्यूम करा है cos 90 degrees is 0. Alright, cos 90 degrees is 0. Similarly, sin 90 degrees is 1. So what will be our cot 90? Cot 90 is what? It is nothing but cos 90 upon sin 90. 0 upon 1 is 0. Now what about cosec 90? Cosec 90 is nothing but 1 upon sin 90, that is 1 upon 1, and it is going to give you 1. Now what about sec 90? Sec 90 is what? It is 1 upon cos 90, and cos 90, wait, oh, just wait, fine. And what was cos 90? Cos 90 was 0. So this will be not defined. We know that 0 cannot come in the denominator. So it is not defined. This means sec 90 is not defined. ऑलराइट, अब हमारे पास बचा क्या? वी आर लेफ्ट विथ tan 90, right? Let's see what will be tan 90. Tan 90 is what? It is nothing but sin 90 upon cos 90. Sin 90 is 1 from here we can see, and cos 90 is 0 from here. Again this is not defined. Again this is not defined. This will imply that tan 90 is not defined. Alright, so we now also have the values of trigonometric ratios for 90 degrees, that is cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1, cot 90 is 0, cosec 90 is 1. Alright, tan 90 is not defined, and similarly sec 90 is not defined. So now we have the values of trigonometric ratios for all the angles that we have to study. हमने 0 degrees के लिए trigonometric ratios देखे, 90 degrees के लिए देखे, we calculated it for 30 degrees, 60 degrees and 45 degrees. You should remember all these values, alright? And in the next lecture, we will have a problem session based on these topics that we studied today. आज क्या क्या पढ़ा है हमने? Today we studied some important results. First of all, हमने क्या देखा था? The first result was that the values of trigonometric ratio, the values of any trigonometric ratio does not depend on the size of the triangle. Rather, it only depends on the value of that particular angle. All right. Then the second result that we saw was that for any right angle triangle, the value of sine theta and cos theta are always going to be less than 1. Fine. उसके बाद हमने क्या देखा? उसके बाद हमने कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट रिलेशंस देखे. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी सॉ पावर्स ऑफ ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज, देन वी सॉ quotient relation, that was tan theta is nothing but sin theta upon cos theta, and cot theta is cos theta upon sin theta. All right, then we saw square relations. What were they? They were sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. Where did we see that? Let me show you once. Yeah, we saw these square relations. That was sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. 1 plus tan square theta is sec square theta, and 1 plus cot square theta is cosec square theta. After that, we saw trigonometric ratios for the specific angles, and we calculated it for 45 degrees, 30 degrees and 60 degrees. And finally, we saw the assumptions or the axioms for 0 degrees and 90 degrees. Alright, so I will stop today's lecture here itself. जितना भी मैंने अभी तक आपको पढ़ाया है, that means whatever we have studied till now, that is trigonometric ratios, all the relations between the trigonometric ratios and the values of trigonometric ratios for specific angles. You guys just do revise all of them. Try to solve as many questions as you can from these chapters. And in the next problem session, we will have questions mixed from both the topics. That means that session will contain the questions from all the topics that we have studied till now. Alright, so I hope you guys liked the lecture. If you did, then do consider liking the lecture and sharing it with your friends. And if you find it useful, then you can also consider subscribing to the channel for regular updates. And if you have any doubt regarding any lecture that I have taken, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section, and I will be happy to reply to them as soon as possible. Alright, so stay healthy, keep studying. Thank you.